the hip-hop world is buzzing again, and this time, it's Jim Jones and Drake against the industry's biggest players, plus 50 Cent jumping in to stir the drama. Jim surprised everyone by standing with Drake in his legal battle against Universal Music Group, calling it a fight for artists' rights. But 50, being 50, turned the whole thing into a viral joke, roasting Jim for his decisions and bringing up old Dipset drama. Just like that, the past is back in the spotlight. Diss tracks, public feuds. This story has more twists than a soap opera. But how did we get here? Why is Jim backing Drake? And what's 50 really up to by adding fuel to the fire? Let's break it down.
It's an interesting move on Drake's part. Notably, he's not suing Kendrick Lamar, right? He's suing Universal, which reps both of these.
We're not even halfway through 2025, and we've already got one of the biggest lawsuits of the year. Drake recently took legal action against Universal Music Group, claiming defamation over Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us. Some saw the song as a direct shot at Drake, and now, the legal battle is making major waves.
Including, like actual physical that he could have incurred in financial harm. So they get into the first couple pages. Now, a couple things that we learned in this lawsuit within the first 5 pages that we didn't know. Remember when the shooting happened at Drake's home?
Drake's legal team says this isn't just about Not Like Us. It's about Universal Music Group pushing the song and making money off it. By suing, he's trying to hold the label responsible for what he sees as them spreading a damaging story about him. The lawsuit has everyone talking. Some think Drake is making a bold move, standing up to powerful labels and fighting for artists to have more control over their work. Others see it as a risky move that mixes rap beef with legal battles. But Drake's team is clear. This isn't about rap drama. This lawsuit is about accountability, a source close to him said. Drake isn't just fighting for himself. He's standing up for artists everywhere. When the news broke, fans and the music industry were shocked. Taking on UMG is a huge move, and nobody saw it coming. After UMG fired back, DJ Academics warned Drake about what he's up against. He pointed out that UMG has a history of humbling artists and will likely try to get the lawsuit thrown out. They'll call the judge and try to dismiss it, he said, suggesting the label is playing the long game. Once a song blows up, UMG controls everything, making it nearly impossible to settle things the easy way. As expected, the hip-hop world took sides, and not everyone backed Drake. One of the loudest voices against him has been Joe Budden, who never holds back. On his podcast, he called out Drake for trying to be both the aggressor and the victim, even comparing him to a Karen. What really bothers Budden is how much hip-hop has changed. Diss tracks used to be about bars and competition. Now they're turning into lawsuits. It's disgusting.
It's nasty, he said.
We went from dropping diss tracks to filing petitions, but UMG's response is what really stands out. Their position could spark a bigger debate. Does Drake have a real case, or is he opening the door for labels to fight back even harder? Is Drake's lawsuit hurting the spirit of rap battles, or is it changing the game for the better? Right now, hip-hop is divided. Some, like Joe Budden, feel like the raw, competitive side of rap is fading. Others, like Jim Jones, see this as a necessary move to shift the power in the industry. But the real shock came when Jim openly backed Drake. A lot of people thought this lawsuit was about Kendrick Lamar, but Jim shut that down. Drake didn't sue Kendrick. He sued UMG, the biggest company with the biggest bag, Jim said. You think I wouldn't sue Amazon if they did me dirty? I'd sue everybody. Speaking on the Broken Friend Zone podcast, Jim made it clear, this isn't just about Drake. It's about artists standing up for their rights. He even compared it to other big lawsuits where people were happy to see someone win. When Tracy Morgan got that bag, we all cheered for him, right? Jim said. So, why is this any different? Jim didn't hold back when it came to supporting Drake. He went all in, calling it a power move like Tracy Morgan's big win with Walmart. Jim made it clear, this isn't about rap beef, it's about giving artists more control. He fired back at people who accused him of chasing clout, saying artists need to stand up to the big labels. On the Broken Friend Zone podcast, Jim compared Drake's move to James Bond-level boldness, stressing how important it is for artists to challenge the big corporate powers. He pointed out that Drake's lawsuit could pave the way for other artists to get more control over their work. While some people might think this is just personal drama, Jim believes it could lead to real change in the industry. Jim's words hit home for a lot of smaller artists who feel like they're getting left behind by the major labels. But Jim didn't stop there. He also called out Universal, saying their slow response to Drake's case was just them trying to dodge accountability. Fans on social media were quick to cheer Jim on for standing up for artists, but not everyone was on board. Some felt like Jim was just making the situation worse.
I don't know if I ain't get a chance to. Me suing everybody. Any one of them companies I get a chance to playing at that level to sue for billions, I'm going for it. Are you crazy?
Jim's support for Drake didn't sit well with everyone. Some people accused him of just chasing clout, but Jim was quick to shut that down. If I could sue a company like Amazon or Universal for billions, I'd do it, he said, making it clear he's all about challenging big corporations. This clash of opinions only made things hotter, turning Drake's lawsuit into a major talking point in the industry. While Jim stuck to his guns about fighting corporate power, his critics, especially 50 Cent, saw an opportunity to stir things up. As expected, 50 jumped into the mix right away. After Jim backed Drake, 50 took to Instagram, roasting Jim for sticking his nose in something that wasn't his business. The post, full of 50's usual humor, went viral and got everyone talking. This back and forth between 50 and Jim wasn't new. It was just another round in their long-running feud. It all started when Jim appeared on Respectfully Justin with Justin Leboe, where he called out 50 and Cameron for some comments they made. Jim didn't hold back, saying they'd been riding his coattails. 50 Cent fired back on Instagram, turning up the heat and making the feud even bigger. 50 Cent didn't hold back when he went after Jim Jones. He brought up old rumors from the 6ix9ine trial in 2019, where Jim was allegedly tied to federal informant talk. 50 shared court documents and mocked Jim, calling him Individual One, a nickname that's become a running joke in their feud. In the caption, he added, "I know you working, so don't say gangster stuff to me. Individual One?" 50 wasn't done there. He posted more documents, showing a wiretap conversation where Jim was allegedly talking about the Treewave crew and 6ix9ine. 50 pointed out that Jim was the only member of the crew who wasn't arrested, suggesting that Jim might have been working with the feds. The documents reportedly show Jim discussing 6ix9ine, who ended up cooperating with authorities in his case. 50 made it clear, Jim not getting arrested raises serious questions. But 50 didn't stop with just throwing shade at Jim's alleged involvement with the feds. He also brought up the old Dipset drama, suggesting Jim should focus on making up with Cameron instead of backing Drake. The post reignited tensions in hip-hop, especially between Jim and his former Dipset crew. Cameron wasn't going to let it slide. In an episode of his talk show It Is What It Is, he revisited their old beef, adding more fuel to the fire. Cameron didn't hold back when he addressed his long-running beef with Jim Jones. On a recent episode of his talk show It Is What It Is, Cam reignited their old tensions and accused Jim of betraying him, especially when Jim sided with 50 Cent during the famous Dipset G-Unit feud in the mid-2000s. For Cam, that was the moment their friendship cracked, and it's never really healed. Cam didn't stop there. He also questioned Jim's connection to Harlem, saying Jim isn't really from there despite often claiming it. "You're from the Bronx, bro, not Harlem," Cam said. "Why do you keep saying you're from Harlem? I didn't grow up with you. You're from the Bronx." Cam painted Jim as a fan trying to get into Dipset, saying Jim invited them over to his house after hearing their freestyle. But to Cam, it wasn't about working together, it was about Jim wanting to be part of the crew. Then, to really heat things up, Cam brought up a past incident where he accused Jim of running scared during a run-in with the Black Mafia family, BMF. Cam asked, "You ever hear me talk about when you ran from me when BMF pulled up?" It was a direct jab at Jim's street credibility and added more fuel to their already heated rivalry. Cameron didn't hold back when he brought up some old stories about Jim Jones. He reminded everyone of the time Jim ran from a confrontation at a hotel and got chased to the beach. Cam claimed Jim only got away because his connected friends stepped in and helped him out, making it clear that Jim wasn't as tough as he made himself seem. Dame Dash also jumped in to back up Cam, confirming that Jim tried to get him jumped in front of his woman at an art gallery. Dame said the disrespect was off the charts. Even though Cam said he didn't want to drag Jim's name through the mud, these comments showed there's a lot of unresolved tension between them. The whole conversation painted a clear picture of just how much bad blood is still between Cam and Jim. While Dipset is an iconic group, their legacy is filled with drama. Cam said he used to think everything was cool with Jim, but looking back, it's clear that the tension has always been there. This feud is nothing new. It's been going on for years. The beef really started when Jim sided with 50 Cent during the infamous Dipset G-Unit feud in the mid-2000s. Since then, their relationship has been all over the place, with moments of trying to make up, followed by more private fights. Cam has been vocal about Jim's leadership in Dipset, questioning his loyalty and decisions. Jim, on the other hand, says Cam's ego has been holding the group back from success.
Cam and 50, the Cam and 50 beef was like a public display. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was from the radio, Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? 50 went up.
Jim has called out Cam for messing up Dipset's business and being petty, while Cam has hit back, questioning Jim's connection to Harlem. This back and forth has gotten exhausting for fans who just want to see the group come back together. Joel Santana even jumped in, calling it a family feud that he can't fix. He said it's disappointing to see them fighting, especially with everything they've accomplished as a group, but he's made it clear he's not picking sides. Joel's is staying neutral, saying he can't be the one to fix this. Now, fans are left wondering if anyone can step up and help these guys sort things out.
And right now, he just did the interview with 50.
For the younger audience, we had like a rap battle thing.
Joel's point of view adds a real sense of sadness to the whole situation. He's always talked about how much the brotherhood means to him, but now he seems stuck, unable to stop the drama. His frustration is what a lot of fans are feeling, missing the old Dipset and upset that they can't move past this tension. Jim's not letting 50 Cent's comments slide, though. Word is, Jim's been working on diss tracks aimed at both Cam and 50. He made it clear when he went on Justin Leboe's Respectfully podcast, calling out both of them and telling them to get off his D. When asked about 50's comments, Jim didn't hold back and told Cam to focus on moving forward instead of keeping the drama going. If those diss tracks drop, it could take fans back to that old-school rap battle energy, a time when music was the battleground for feuds, not social media. But Jim isn't just about the music. His merch campaign shows he's thinking about using the Dipset legacy to make moves in business. Jim's support for Drake has stirred up a lot more than just chatter. It's brought back old conflicts and added new drama. With 50 Cent stoking the fire and the Dipset tensions showing no signs of cooling down, the future of the group is uncertain. Will Jim's bold move work out? Or will it just make things worse? We want to hear from you. Do you think Jim was right to support Drake? And do you think Dipset can ever come together again? Stick around for our next video, where we'll dive into 50 Cent's latest moves in the industry and how they're shaking things up. You won't want to miss it.